Hello, Imposter Syndrome Disrupted Community. We're back at it. This is the fourth Tuesday of June. So, as always, every second and fourth Tuesday, we're here for Imposter Syndrome Disrupted. So, let me just take a moment to check my technology to make sure we're live. And so we are live. I see we're live on LinkedIn, so I can get us started officially. But come on in. Welcome to those who can join us for the live version of this episode. As always, put in the chat, in the comments, where are you from? Like, we want to know. Inquiry minds want to know. Just so your location, because I'm a LinkedIn coach. It's all about networking. It's all about building our strong network, our strong community. And so it can start by people knowing who you are and where you're from, right? And then it continues from there. So come on in. Let us know who's with us. But I hope things are going well with you. How has June been? Like, can you believe? So June 2021 is quickly coming to an end. It's the 22nd. Like, so last year dragged on and on and on forever. At least I feel that way. It dragged on forever. But yet, like, now we're in 2021 and we want to like enjoy this year based upon how last year went. This year, it seems to be going very quickly, very, very quickly, at least for me. But we're at the end of June, at the end of the 6th month of the year. So how's your business been going this year? So far, we've had half the year now, almost done. I hope your business is on the right track as women entrepreneurs, right? That you're getting, especially Black women entrepreneurs, you're going far beyond what the average annual revenue is, or you're on mark to go far beyond that. And the average, let me see, I bring this up and then I have to make sure the information is here, right? Annual gross income for Black women entrepreneurs is only $24,000. So I hope you're on the right track to far exceeding that in this year, right? So again, who's with us? Come on in, check in, let me know. But again, hope the business is going well. And your summer, you're off to a good start with enjoying the summer. I'm in the Midwest, so I'm in the greater Milwaukee area. And yesterday we had a day that was like, and to me, it was fine because I'm not good with heat, extreme heat, but it felt like fall, like 60s and very cool. But yet we had a spell of 90-degree days and everything. But anyway, so I hope you're doing well and enjoying the summer and getting out in the good weather. Let me share the quote for today that connects, as always, I try to do. It connects with my topic for today or with the guest in my conversation. And he's already waiting in the studio. But the quote for this episode is be the energy you want to attract. Now, as we're always talking about imposter syndrome, right? And disrupting that imposter syndrome, those thoughts that we may have mentally that can hold us back from owning our greatness, showcasing our greatness on LinkedIn, and getting the business that we want and deserve and need. A lot of that can depend on us putting out there the right kind of energy so that we can attract the results that we want. The partnerships, and this goes to the conversation with my guest for today. We can attract the right kind of conversations, the right kind of people, the right kind of everything, so that we can get the results we want. So be the energy you want to attract is the inspirational quote for this episode. And so let me go right into making sure I share news briefs. And before I even do that, and so as the norm is, I usually come on and do a quote and do a news brief. And the tradition has been, I also, shortly after the show, published what I call the Imposter Syndrome Disrupted News Brief article on LinkedIn that summarizes the shows and gives more details about the current articles and resources for women entrepreneurs. So I'm disbanding that article for now. We as entrepreneurs, we have to make sure that we use our time wisely, right? And in the process of using our time wisely is the whole thing of work smarter, not harder. So, in getting results from how we put our time and where we invest our time and energy, right? So, I'm disbanding the newsletter for now, the article, but I'm not disbanding providing the content, the information to you in this format because it's important. The more that we empower ourselves with what's current, what's educational, what can get us to the next level, the more we can get to that next level and the next level and the next level. So I will continue to share. And it's just in me as a journalist, as a PR person, as a news junkie, and all of that. I'm going to continue to share the information with you. So make sure you come to the episodes ready with pen and paper so you can jot down notes and be able to capture the information, especially since I'm not going to be publishing articles moving forward. So the first one I want to share, and I'm not sure if she's here with us or not, it's from, and I saw this in a LinkedIn post recently from one of my connections, and it's an article she wrote for her website that's all about imposter syndrome. So I'm like, I have to share this with my show people. So it's called How to Use Imposter Syndrome to Your Advantage. So how to use imposter syndrome to your advantage. And it's a blog from her website, and her meaning Marie Leslie. And the website is small business and uplifter. So how to use imposter syndrome to your advantage. And again, how to use imposter syndrome to your advantage. What I will do after the show, instead of doing the newsletter or the article, I would just put the link to the article in the feed for this show. Okay. And again, from Marie Leslie. And then I want to spend more time on this article from Entrepreneur Magazine. And then I will get to my guest. But this article is titled 6 Powerful Lessons I Learned Early in Entrepreneurship. And it's a relatively new article. So from June 4th, 2021. And I love the sub headline for the article where he talked about the life of being entrepreneur, being messy, fulfilling, and thrilling. I'm like, wow. That pretty much sums it up, right? Entrepreneurship, like, again, I tell people all the time, it's the most fulfilling job I've ever had, working for myself. But it is messy. It is like challenging and full of just a lot of not so good or fun stuff. But then there is so much good that goes with it. So I loved how it said messy, fulfilling, and thrilling. But so there were 6 powerful lessons, and I'm going to go through those very quickly. So cultivate an unstoppable mindset. I don't know about you, but for me, like, that's number one, pretty much. Probably a lot of people who know me will say is me being unstoppable in pushing my business forward and having like 100% or more commitment to me that this business is going to work. It's going to be successful. It's going to be, and I recently took a 2-week trip to the South to visit family and some other things, but on my way back, I took a trip to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and visited or toured the original Black Wall Street, the original, the Greenwood Business District. And so even more so now that cultivating an unstoppable mindset after having that experience of being where the Tulsa race massacre occurred, but really thinking back to prior to the massacre and the success of those Black entrepreneurs in very challenging times, is like, I am more unstoppable than before. So watch out, world. Like, I'm giving you full warning. Okay, let me move on. So number 2 is get insanely good at key skills. So whatever the skills are that really are your secret sauce for your business, get insanely good at those key skills, right? Because that will drive your business more. I've talked about before how when my business had multiple focuses, I struggled. But when I zoned into my sweet spot, the door is just open wide, so to speak. So build strong habits, and I'm going to stop talking because I do that. So I'm going to just give you the tips. So let me start over in case you're writing them down. Cultivate an unstoppable mindset. Get insanely good at key skills. Build strong habits. Be part of a strong community of like-minded people. I hope that's what this is. Protect the downside. So risk that can be involved. Protect yourself from that. And find support of a strong partner. Okay? Those are the 6, again, from the 6 powerful lessons I learned early in entrepreneurship. And it's an article in Entrepreneur Magazine, or from Entrepreneur Magazine. Again, since I'm not going to be doing the news article, news brief, I will just put the links to those 2 articles in the stream of comments once I end the show. And then moving forward, I will probably post them in the link, the post. And let me see, who is this? Hello, Clarene. This is Tawanda, and I'm happy to be here. Happy to have you. Tawanda, give StreamYard permission, and this is to everyone. Give StreamYard permission so that I can, like when I put you on screen, everyone can see your beautiful faces, right? In your actual name instead of just LinkedIn user, right? But so happy to have you, Tawanda. And so let me see, where am I? Because I want to be good on time, so we can really talk. So I'm not even going to get into a lot of introduction because I really want him to introduce himself. Let me just start with how my guest and I met, because there's always reason with every guest, if you haven't figured it out now. So this is episode 12. Like, wow, how did we get here so quickly? Hey, David, how are you? How to get StreamYard? You gave StreamYard permission because I see your face and I see your name. So you did. But for everyone else, when you see my post for this live at the beginning, there's text or the caption for the post. There's a hyperlink that you just click on, and then that gives StreamYard. And so, David, you've done that in the past, so then automatically showed you. So great to have you, David. So this is episode 12. And for the guests I've had up to date, and always, there's a rhyme and reason with everything that I do anyway. But there's some connectivity, right? There's not people just random. I saw them on LinkedIn or saw them somewhere. I'm like, oh, I want them as a guest. No, there's always a methodology to what I do, strategy behind what I do. This guest today, no problems. No problems. I think that's Tawanda. No problems. Great to have you. So, Dr. Charlie Cartwright. Dr. Charlie, Mr. Dashcam Wisdom, all of that. He'll explain. So he and I met, and I just grabbed this real quick. So you see this program? So Metro Omaha, but Disrupt HR, and I'll explain more about that. But this was in July of 2019. So that's how long we've known each other. And I'm going to, if you can see, but you probably can't see as much. So I was the opening speaker for the event, and it's like a perfect bookend, right? Dr. Charlie was the closing speaker. I opened it up, got people fired up. He closed it out like with a bang, powerfully. And it's just, so that's how we met. And let me just explain. And I had Sherry St. Marie on as a guest, and she's from my Disrupt HR family as well in network. So Disrupt HR is a global network organization where local communities have events where HR professionals speaking. Is kind of like a TEDx style event where the speakers speak generally for 5 minutes. Yeah, I think it's universal for all the Disrupt events, for 5 minutes with 20 automated slides that are already put in the system, automated. So we have to be on point, which is hard for me because I get these like thoughts that just come in. So it was really hard for me. And I've done 4 of those events to stay on point, on topic. But so 5 minutes, 5 power-packed minutes with 20 automated slides. and hard-hitting thought leadership topics related to HR. So, of course, I'm the LinkedIn coach, and I talk about LinkedIn, some aspects of LinkedIn related to HR, and all the other speakers. So, anyway, that's Disrupt HR. But that's how Dr. Charlie and I met. So then fast track. And so, of course, connected on LinkedIn, been, engaging with each other. I had my first LinkedIn. So on a regular basis, I do a virtual LinkedIn masterclass for entrepreneurs, where actually it started just in general, and then I zoned in on just providing for entrepreneurs. My first one was in May of last year. Dr. Charlie attended that event. From that, we developed a partnership. Literally from that event, we developed a partnership, but it all began with us first knowing each other at the Disrupt HR event, following each other, networking on LinkedIn, and now we have a mutually beneficial partnership. So remember last episode, we talked with Emily Lopez, and I talked about how I've been burnt in the past where there's partnerships where they're unequal, right? Or where it's the individual, soaking up or getting everything from me, and then me not walking away with the win. Partnerships where it's a win-win for everyone. That's really what partnerships are, right? So let me stop talking. I'm gonna bring him on, because if I bring him, then I'll start talking as much. So let me welcome him in. So hello, Dr. Charlie.
How are you?
I'm so excited to have you. I'm good. This is the first time we've seen each other like forever, like based on quarantine, the pandemic, and then not having disrupt events and all of that kind of stuff. So great to have time with you. I know that you're in high demand, so I appreciate you having time for this show. And I'm gonna just be quiet for a minute. Let you introduce yourself. Talk about who you are, what you do, because you're an entrepreneur as well. You're not a woman entrepreneur, but you're an entrepreneur. So I want you to introduce yourself. But before that, let me just shout you out. You're the first male guest on this show. So congratulations for being our first male guest. But it's all about, like, we can all support each other, right? And I wanted you to be my first male guest to be able to show that how it truly can happen. So I'm really going to be quiet. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. It's just an honor and a privilege to be here, and it's so great to see you. So again, I'm Dr. Charlie Cartwright, the creator of Dashcam Wisdom. So I have a daily routine with the dash cams and create those videos, and that content just resonates with people. I try to talk about practical things for entrepreneurs, for fathers, for mothers, just for people in general, to help them along this challenging time. And what I do for a living, I'm the company culture doctor. So you can find me on LinkedIn under Dr. Charlie Cartwright, or my URL is the company culture doctor. And so I like to say I marry data up with humanity to create solutions for companies. So when I come with a solution, yes, I've lived it. Yes, I've practiced it. However, it's data driven. And so there's no Dr. Charlie opinion in there. It's all about data, and then creating the relationship between data and the humanity, what makes us great. And I teach leaders how to duplicate that. So any common denominator you think about when it comes to business challenges, it's always people. People are the common denominator. So when we figure out how to best work with, motivate, and inspire our people, everything else will take care of itself. And so that could be a safety issue, a productivity, turnover, sales. I coach on all of that. And of course, I have my keynote addresses, which I love to give. And that usually is a foot in the door. So if you have a people-related issue at work, I'm your guy.
I like that. People-related issue at work, Dr. Charlie's the one to call. Absolutely. To come in and do the event speaking or doing the actual training as well. And so you talked about it real quickly because I want to just listen. But Dashcam Wisdom, so if you all are not following, connected to Dr. Charlie on LinkedIn, Don't do it right now. Continue to listen. Afterwards, connect with him because his dash cam wisdom. Okay, for one, last year on 2020, I did LinkedIn tips every day. And that was just a graphic. And it like, oh my goodness, that took a lot. To do videos every day. And these videos, let me tell y'all, if you don't already know or see them, his videos are hot, meaning the engagement that he gets with these videos is amazing. But he's able to, and just how he does with those videos, he does with his speaking engagements, he connects with individuals because of his approach. But from his car, that's why it's called Dash Cam Wisdom. From his car, even when it's cold and raining and everything.
Yeah.
It's dark early in the morning. He's in his car giving his dash cam wisdom, and it's phenomenal. So shout out, mad props to you for being able to continue to do that. That takes a lot.
I love it. And it's so funny because I start to have followers from around the world. Mm-hmm. And I remember I received a message in broken English. Why don't you go office? Why don't you go office? Leave your car. Well, it's kind of dash cam wisdom, so I have to be in the car.
Right.
I didn't have an office that I work out of. You know? But I thought that was so funny.
But that reinforces, though, the value of LinkedIn because it allows you to have that far reach on a national and global basis. You never know who's going to see, who's going to engage, how that leads to another and another and another and another. And I'm sure it's helped you. You said you do dash cam wisdom, but your business is something, but I'm sure it feeds into your brand and builds your business and created opportunities for you, has opened doors for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Because people kind of get to know you a little bit.
Most
and
definitely.
Then they go onto your profile and say, hey, wait a minute. He does safety consulting. He does leadership consulting. He does coaching. Let me give him a call. And then that's how the conversation. So it's really a great lead in. And then when we get on a Zoom call, they find out that I'm the same guy. It's not an act. That's who I am. And of course, I have more professional dress with the dash cam. I'm always in a t-shirt, in a different t-shirt.
Right.
But I do have the
business going. Side. Do you still have the t-shirt line?
I do, and I just haven't. I've been so busy with things, and then I lost my artist, and so we're creating so much content. So I need to get another artist, but I do still have those t-shirts available, and I need to focus on promoting those. But it's one of those things where I create the t-shirt, and I'm focused on delivering the message. I just don't ever want people to think I'm delivering the message to sell the shirts. It kind of
right.
Chicken,
it's the whole thing of providing the value, and I love with your philosophy because it's the same philosophy I have with even providing the show. It's about value. I don't come on here selling my services and saying for people to sign up for this or to, become a client. Is providing the services. Resource and the value. And just as you say, it then lets people know, Clarene exists. They can go and start following me. And then if they want to take it to the next step, they can do that, just as people do with you from the dash cam wisdoms.
Absolutely.
Right.
So I enjoy it. It's fun. It really is. And I actually had someone come up to me. I was out in public a couple of weeks ago, and someone came up to me and said, "You're the dash cam wisdom guy. I knew it was you." And it just kind of shocked me. And my friend told me about you, and I've been watching your videos. I was staring. I said, "I think that's the dash cam wisdom guy." And so I got approached in public. It was fun. It was really funny.
Celebrity status. You got celebrity status.
It was really neat. So that was fun.
And then we have to get to our partnership, but I like this conversation about the dash cam wisdom because, how long have you been doing it? And did you even think when you started doing them that it would be to the level it is now? And go ahead.
That's a great question. So no, I had no idea, and I was scared to death. I always tell people to push the record button that first time. I was like, push that button.
Now.
Then I spoke. then I was like, I'm no way I'm sending that out. Then I was like, I got to send it out. And then it's like, post, right? And then just to get the responses, and it just encouraged me. So I started them in May, but I didn't get consistent till last August.
You started them in May of 2020?
2020. And then in August is when I got consistent with them as far as every week, putting out about 5 a week or so. And then it's just grown its audience. And I've been blown away. And it's been so cool because, to your point, I mean, speaking to people in South Africa and Egypt and Ireland, UK, Canada, Australia, you name it, it's so neat. I had someone send me a note that said, hey, I was in Saudi Arabia for 2 weeks and I watched these every day from my hotel room. And I was just blown away that, other side of the world, that message is resonating. And so it's, I just love that people find it helpful, because sometimes I make them, and that's the thing about our content. We just have to have confidence in who we are and let our content out and let the market decide. And yeah, that content might not do 10,000 views. Let's say it did 50 views. And so sometimes I was like, wow, that one really stunk. It did 50 views. And then I get a note from someone at how much
one.
That
it
meant,
takes the
right?
one, not
Just
the volume
one.
of numbers. Sometimes it can just be that one exact one that you needed to reach.
I had, and I was feeling, and I was actually sitting there. I remember I went to a retreat during the pandemic. It was a men's retreat during a pandemic. And so I'm out there since September. And I remember driving out there with a friend. I'm thinking, man, I should be trying to build my business. I shouldn't be at this retreat. That's what I'm thinking, right? And then I'm like, well, is this stuff making any difference anyway? I'm laying in the bed thinking about this. Like, is the dash cam wasn't making a difference anyway. And I don't know how it happened, but this woman left a voicemail on the LinkedIn as a message. And that message was so powerful that I'm like, I'm never going to stop doing this. It's so important, because I thought that day's version wasn't very good. And she left a voicemail, and she said, I didn't want to send you a message. I want you to hear my voice, how much that meant to me. I was like, wow. So you just never know who you're going to reach. And I guarantee you, if you have a message in your heart, that message is for somebody else, and you just need to let it out.
It's going to resonate, and it's going to hit it. So I don't know if you see this comment from Rachel Bush. So she said, and this is something you talked about, confidence in self is key. Thank you for the reminder. Thanks for joining us, Rachel, for being here live. And I'm glad that resonated with you. And it is, especially connecting to the theme of the show topic, imposter syndrome disrupted. You can't disrupt it without having that self-confidence, having that foundation of knowing who you are and your greatness, your secret sauce, what makes you like the best at what you do, and own that. And so even with your videos, it's again providing that value on a consistent basis, because it may fluctuate from video to video, how many reactions, how many views, how many comments, but it's often also the total process of it, right? The mass number or the mass impact that's making the difference and can generate the results that we want. But it's just doing it. So let me say this, because I see you about to say something, but I want to put this out there, and I hope we still good friends after this. But so I've been nudging you to go live on LinkedIn, and so your videos are so great, your dash cam videos, but those are pre-recorded and you load. And let me say this before I forget, he does these videos on a daily basis, and he also does other content. And it's not like he just dropped the videos and he gone. No, he drops the videos, he engages with those who engage with him, and then he's great at these graphics that he creates, that's leadership focused, and he has those as well. Like, I don't know if you do all your stuff or you have a VA or whatever, I don't know, but it's like a lot. But again, back to my point. Okay, let the audience say, y'all, wouldn't he be great going live on a regular basis? once a month or once a week, or I don't know. but he been resisting going live. But okay.
I hear you. I'm gonna do it. You have my word. You have my commitment. I'm gonna do it.
Yay! I support you. Let me
Before I
know
made the videos, it was several friends nudging gently, not so gently. And then I finally said, okay, I'll do it. And it worked out.
You have the personality and the information, and just people can see you're genuine, right? It's not where you're on in a very arrogant kind of way, or you know everything and everyone listen to me. It's a very genuine approach you have, and that's what has created this following that you have now, that you can't let it go, because people. Have you ever gone like days without doing it? And then
I remember what happened. I think it was during the pandemic. I had a few days there where I didn't create the content, and then I got notes like, "Hey, what's going on?" And then, hey, and don't take that T-shirt off. One time I tried to put a polo shirt on. His friends like, "Hey, why don't you put a polo shirt on?" I put a polo shirt on. People were like, they rebel. Hey, where's the T-shirt? Don't you know the first thing I look for is the T-shirt? Then I listen to your message. So so it's just been a great thing. But I just love the community because it picks you up sometimes, because we all need to be encouraged from time to time.
right.
And when I receive that encouragement too, then I'm galvanized. But I'm to your point though, there's been some things that I've read about and learned about lately that just makes me feel unstoppable. Right.
All right.
I came across a documentary. I try not to get choked up about it, but I came across a documentary just this week, and it was in their own words. It was created in 2011. It was about Tuskegee Airmen. 45 minutes, and they must have interviewed a dozen of them. And it was just so powerful to me for what they overcame. And I mean, they laid the groundwork for us today.
Yes.
And I want to honor that in everything that I do. And I will.
Yes. That reminds me of my experience in Tulsa. Again, like, we're unstoppable because we have all of that greatness that is pushing us forward, that we just have to tap into, respect, and continue moving on to be able to be a catalyst for the generations that will come after us. But I get it. That's the way I felt in Tulsa. Seriously. Like, that fire in my belly is just like even more so now.
Yes, it's just amazing. I mean, it's decades before I was born they were doing this. So I just love that. And so I'm excited to be a part of that tradition, that legacy.
All right. Comment from Juanita White, one of my LinkedIn Power Player clients. I love that if you have a message in your heart, it's a message that can help someone else. Don't keep it to you. Yes, it's our duty and our responsibility to not keep the message to ourselves. If we have that message, we have that experience, we have that skill, that story, that expertise, it's our duty, it's our responsibility, and I don't want to take, well, I shouldn't say I don't want to, or to the spiritual side, but the scripture about, hiding a light up under a bush. We got to take that book, that basket, that, we can't hide our light. We have to let our light shine, because then that's how it can make a difference. And that's how we're able to serve the world, because we're walking in our path, in our greatness, in our purpose, all of that.
It's interesting you mentioned that, because sometimes people will say how much they enjoyed Dashcam Wisdom. And I always reply, I'm glad you enjoyed the message, because I don't feel like it's my message. It was given to me. People say, how much time did you prepare? That's about the time it takes me to walk to my car. Right?
Oh.
Yeah. Like I sit down and start talking. So where's it coming? So where's it coming from? You see what I'm saying? Where's it coming from? I sit down and start talking. Yeah. So there's no, night before, all the nope. Sit right down. And when you surrender to that, then your message will become exponentially more powerful, because you're a conduit from a greater source.
Right. Right. Good. Wow. See, don't y'all agree? I need to see some comments. And I know he already agreed to this, but don't y'all agree that he would be phenomenal being live, like his, not as a guest, but as his own show to supplement his Dash Cam wisdom? You know, it can be Dash Cam Wisdom Live or something to that. You
Ooh,
know, where it's,
I love that.
you
I
can have
love
it.
that.
It's yours.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it.
So let's talk about our partnership. So again, so me as a solo entrepreneur in the greater Milwaukee area, and I don't believe you mentioned, so you're a solo entrepreneur too, right? If
Yeah.
and you're where?
In Olathe, Kansas.
Like Olathe, huh? What?
Yeah. The suburb of Kansas City.
Right. But we met at an event, and that has gone on to us having a partnership where, again, it's a win-win. So you want to talk about that and how, again, so you and we had some pre-show conversations, and it's about like I loved how you said it, and you can say it in your own words again, but there's enough business out here for all of us. Right. There's enough, excuse me, the pie doesn't have to be where, we have it for ourselves. There's enough for all of us to be rich, so to speak. I say for all of us to do well. But how did, because you initiated the partnership. So you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So I just found your process amazing. I still don't know how you figured all this stuff out about LinkedIn. And it really took my profile to another level. So then I remember talking to a friend of mine, Rich Rita, producer, and saying, "Hey, I looked at your profile, man, and you're a world-class salesperson, and your profile sucks." I can say that to him. And he's like, "What? Well, yeah, it does suck." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'm going to connect you with Clarene. She's going to boom." And then, that's the connection. But it's one of these things where I know it helps you, but it also helps the people in my network. So it's a win. It's a win for them. It's a win for you. But then I also win because they're like, "Wow, Dr. Charlie made this recommendation that helped me." So then my status is elevated in their eyes because I'm a trusted source. I'm a trusted consultant.
Right.
And I'm selective about that. But at the same time, I just know how powerful your platform is. This platform is, and the fact that you're an expert in it. I have so much time, as you mentioned, content, the things that I do. There's no way I'm going to get to the level that you're at in understanding LinkedIn. So why not tap in on your expertise because you're the guru. Now, when other people had the same struggle I have, I said, "I got a lady you need to talk. Here's her information. I'm going to connect you." So, and to your point, it doesn't detract from my business. It only helps because I'm helping other people. And then it's just contagious. When we help others, there's a reciprocity to it, this human nature. So, and I just do it because I enjoy doing it's the right thing, but then we both benefit and grow from it. So
exactly. And I appreciate it. Thank you. Let me just say that. Thank you. And it helps. And then going back or keeping always the theme of imposter syndrome disrupted, it helps, building my confidence. When you have that level of trust and confidence in me or belief in me, that builds my confidence. You even gave me the name moniker LinkedIn Savant. And I'm like, oh, I like that. I like the sound of that. But being able to have that kind of trust that you put in me, because again, our network is a resource, right? Our network is our brand, and it's a thing of, value to us. And so for you to open up your network to me, that's golden, and I trust and I honor that. But helping me then to become more confident in what I do, because I wouldn't have access to those individuals outside of you, right? And so I have trust and respect for you, and I'm gonna make sure that I give them my all, because I'm not just serving them, I'm serving you in the same process. But as you say, we all can support each other in this. I don't know who this LinkedIn user is. I'm still processing that he doesn't prepare. Oh, so this person is saying, wow, powerful. I'm still processing that he doesn't prepare for his dash cam video post. True conduit.
It's huge. And it's so interesting because it's almost, it's so interesting because it's like a, we talk about relationship with the creator and allowing yourself to be used, but it's an interesting process when you see it happening, right?
Yeah.
Because you're like, there's no way I knew that was going to have this effect on this person, or, oh, wow, I didn't know she was going through that. And so I just appreciate the fact that I can I'm a part of adding value to people. And here's the other thing I was going to mention that you mentioned a while back when we're talking about our self-confidence and really believing in ourselves. The scriptures say we're created in the creator's image, right? So that means our default is greatness. Let that sink in.
You should be being quiet. Like, say that
greatness, right? So let's not own that. Let's step into that.
All the way.
And your greatness is different than my greatness, is different than her greatness, is different than his greatness, but it's all greatness.
We have our own unique greatness that nobody else can, match up to. Is our own. It's our differentiating factor. And it's upon us, then it totally, like you say, own that.
Yes.
I love these shows when I do them, these episodes, because I never know where they're gonna go. I love that is like a takeaway for real. Like, I hope y'all got that message right there. Like, it's on, greatness is in us. It's automatic. It's us to step in and own it. Oh wow. Okay. I got like chills, like goosebumps, like that. Yeah. Okay. So Philippa, and Philippa, I'm trying to remember. Like, Philippa is international. She's I can't remember. And you can put it in the comments. The sharing of expertise is so powerful. Yes, indeed. And the creator is always strategic about our connections and timely.
Yes.
Good.
Timing. It's called divine appointments, right? Divine appointments.
But we have to answer to those appointments.
Yes,
we have to answer to those calls. We have to answer to, all right, she coming with the word to back it up. Psalms 139, point blank, she says. Mic drop with that. But we have to answer to the call. We have to, it's there for us, but it can't be forced. We have to walk in it. So yes.
Was that Isaiah? What's that scripture?
Dr. Charlie, look at this.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'm with it. I'm with it.
What's that scripture in Isaiah that says, who will go for us and whom shall I send? Right?
Here, my Lord, send me.
Send me.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, but again, send me. We have to go forth, and we may not know it all. Like you were saying, you started in May, and you were with your dash cam wisdom, and you were scared to hit the button. Like, right? You were hesitant. You weren't confident in it, but all of that was in you. Right? It was just you believing in yourself and going forward. And just like even with my show, Imposter Syndrome Disrupted, when I look at each episode and then compare them to the first episode or the second one, like, what was I? But we learn, we get better each time we do something, and it's up to us to first just step out. A lot of times some of us, or, I do it too in certain regards, we hold ourselves back from being able to do things because we're nitpicking it apart. We're saying, what if this, what if that? We're being, we're letting fear control us, right? Or the what if, the excuses, as opposed to just starting, making it work, getting it better each time, or learning, or learning the lessons as we go along, because nothing is perfect, right? And I'm sure there's times as soon as you hit the stop button, or, when you do your recordings, you're like, darn, I wish I would have said this, or I wish I would have said that or added, but You said what you needed to say in those moments, right? And then those other little bits that you didn't say, then that gives you opportunity for the next one and the next one and the next one to be able to expound even more.
It's so interesting because I remember there was a gentleman, I believe he was from Ireland, and he was talking about, we got on a Zoom call and he's talking about the dash cam wisdom. He said, I just love it because it's raw. He says, you'll scratch your head. You'll stroke your beard. You'll clear your throat. A neighbor walks by and you wave at him. He says, he said, I love the fact it's not scripted. You're not trying to be, okay, this is take number 20 and I didn't stumble. I didn't stutter. No, it's just raw. One cut, one take, done. It is what it is. And that's what is that Brene Brown talks about, the perfection of imperfection, because it's relatable. Everybody, is imperfect. I had a friend just the other day ask me if their scar was distracting. You know what my answer was?
What scar? Yeah.
I know you're drawing attention to it. I didn't even notice. You see what I'm saying? So we worry about these scars. They're not noticing that. They're getting the message.
The value. That's what people focus on. And it's us that are inside our heads, with those distractions that really aren't distractions, or those excuses again, or, barriers that we're putting, before ourselves that we need to just remove, disrupt them, get them out the way, so that we can go forward. I see that we can just go on and on. And it's already 46 minutes that we've been here. Someone else is saying, love it, inspiring. So you have to keep me updated about the debut of Dash Cam Wisdom Live. So that I can let everyone know, and we can all be tuned in and soaking it up. But in the meantime, everyone, again, if you're not connected to Dr. Charlie, please do connect with him on LinkedIn, engage, because again, a wealth of inspiration and information that he provides on a daily basis, and is evidence of how the law of attraction, you sow, you put out there, and the returns that you can get. But LinkedIn, again, is a social selling platform. It's more about providing value than about being salesy and being all about you and all about, okay, I do this, I do that, I provide this service, I provide. It's about providing value, building a tribe, your community. And the results you're going to get from that, you can least expect, because they're going to come back at you when you least expect, and at a high level, quality level. But it's about you doing it, providing that value, that consistency in content. And again, hats off. Like, you've been doing them daily since May. It's like, what? And you're still at it, committed to it. Like, yeah, wow, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Thank you.
Anything else that you want to add? Again, thank you for, being the debut male guest for Imposter Syndrome Disrupted. I appreciate our partnership. But anything else that you would like to add?
Yeah, I think just in parting, I'd just like to encourage anyone and everyone to let your message out. And you have a unique message that only you have, and you're going to say it or present it in a way that only you can say and present it. Don't try to copy anybody else. Just be who you are, and that will be more than enough.
More than enough. More than enough. Being authentic. That's the thing. Being on our authentic selves on the platform, on LinkedIn, and overall, especially as entrepreneurs, when we're authentic, that's what people are going to connect with. That's what what will resonate with people, us being true and genuine. And we can keep it up. If you're not authentic, you can't keep up doing dash cam wisdoms on a daily basis for a year plus, right? Because it takes so much more work to be an imposter, to be somebody else, right? Exactly. But when we're our authentic selves, then we can have the endurance, we can have the consistency with it, because then we're enjoying what we're doing as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna close because I keep talking and I keep thinking of something else in this. And then I'm looking at the comments there. They're coming in, continuing. More than enough. Amen. Right. So the comments are continuing. If anyone has questions for Dr. Charlie, just put them in the comments. Put a capital Q and then put your question. And if you can, Dr. Charlie, just check out the comments later for this live and be able to respond. I'll check them out as well. But I'm going to close now. And just as a reminder to my women entrepreneurs, let me just say, give a shout out to, and I'm not sure if Emily is with us. Emily Lopez, look, my crown with the purple jewels and the gold, right? So as everyone's seen, the logo for this show for Disrupt, Imposter Syndrome Disrupt, is there's a crown. And it's always, and I close now with the show saying, let us always remember to put our crown on, right? Put the S on our chest, level up on LinkedIn, and boss up and get the business that we all deserve, right? Because we're golden, we're royal, and we are authentically who we are, and we need to get the business. So until next time, so the next episode is July 13th. It'll start a new season for just Imposter Syndrome Disrupted. I'm looking forward to my next guest, and I'll be making an announcement about that soon. And some other aspects that I'm incorporating for the next phase of this show. But put it on your calendars, July 13th, still noon Eastern Standard Time, second and fourth Tuesdays of the month. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.